So, do you remember that scene from Coming to America where Akeem looked at a map and decided that he wants to settle in the United States? Then he decided that he wants to stay in New York within the US. Then he decided that he wants to live in Queens. Then he decided that he wants to work at McDonald's. But anyhow, we're not going to talk about the McDonald's part. But hear me out though. That is exactly what's happening right now within the African American community, right? African Americans are looking at an African map, right? Black Americans are looking at an African map and they're deciding what country they would like to stay in Africa, deciding what city they would like to live in Africa. Now, it's a reverse version, but it's a movement that is known as the TranAtlantic exodus. It is basically people packing their bags from different parts of Americas and then they move into Africa. And if it is people of African descent, and African leaders are making this thing so much easier, making it enticing because they're granting citizenship to any person of African descent. But it's not a golden phenomenon, as it has been happening for quite a while. It's something that has been slowly building itself up. For example, in 1847, 13,000 African Americans were scooped to Liberia, right? That one happened and they were so-called freed African Americans or free Black people. Then we have the 50s and the 60s where Maya Angelou actually lived in Ghana. We have the 70s where singer Nina Simone stayed in Liberia as well. Then we have currently, these are just examples of Rita Marley, which is Bob Marley's wife, who is currently living in Ghana as well. But I just finished a video and I explored about 4 questions in this particular video within this subject matter, because we're seeing an influx of African Americans. And then somebody brought this one to my attention and it was more like they were opposing this whole movement situation. And they said to me, why on earth would I want to live in Nigeria when Nigerians are fleeing Nigeria? You know, I explored that in the video and I talked about why that is. Then also, is this whole idea of African American moving, relocating back to Africa, or this so-called transatlantic movement, is this thing all romanticized? I talked about that in the video as well. Now, also exploring why are we currently having an influx of African American relocating and settling in Africa? But the one that actually got my heart thinking was this particular question: are Africans leader doing this, right, to correct the wrong of the past? The things that their ancestors did, right? Our ancestors, maybe include myself in this one. The slave traders, are they trying to correct that? I also talked about that on this episode coming on. So be a lookout for the video. It should be coming out very soon. Emotion is my name and I'm a visual storyteller who happens to be visually impaired, and I love to cover African stories.